Hi, another way that I like to help save my classroom time for rehearsing is to have students take sight reading exams through Canvas and Sight Reading Factory. And so I need to do this for my AP Music class, and I do it as well with my choir classes. And so the first thing I do is log into the correct class and choose assignments. When I add the assignment, I'm going to obviously call it something. So Sight Reading whoops, that's not what I wanted. Sight Reading Factory. Let's see, Sight Reading Quiz 1. That'll work great. And so I'm going to put the instructions, which I've copied and pasted because I don't want to have to worry about that. And the points that I give them is out of 9 because that's the way they do it on the AP exam. And I want to do it the same way so that my students who end up eventually taking AP Music do the things that they need to. And then of course I would put in a due date, which will get changed, I'm sure, but we'll put it in as the 17th for now. So then I'm going to go to the next part where I have to go to the submission type. I click here and I'm going to say an external tool. And I've arranged with my school district to use Canvas. And so, or excuse me, not Canvas, Sight Reading Factory. I've arranged with my school to use Sight Reading Factory. It costs $2 per student, and I find that to be a really good deal. So then I put load in a new tab, and I push find. Well, apparently I have to find it again, so I will. There we go. And then load this tool into a new window, and then I hit save and publish. Now, once I've done that, I come here to this line right here where it says load quiz 1, because now I have to create the quiz for my students to access. I'm going to use the same instructions I had before. And then I allow unlimited attempts. And one of the reasons I do that is because kids that struggle, I had one young lady that did it 70 some odd times. And by the time she had done it 70 times, she knew how to sight read. Most of my students are not quite so tenacious. The instrument is, I let them choose because I want them to choose voice. And since this is their first sight sing of the year, I'm just going to do level 2. And the key signature, I want to keep it simple. And I find that most people do C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat. Those tend to fit in people's ranges the best. And so I choose one of those key signatures. And the time signature, I want to start with 4/4, so I choose it. Now, 8 measures takes too long to grade, and I'm not going to grade that much. If they can do it in 4, that's even better because that's only 15 seconds for me to grade it. I set my tempo to 80 because any slower than that means it takes me longer to grade. And my countdown length, I give them 60. On the AP exam, they get 75 seconds. So I figure if they learn how to do it in 60 seconds, then their preparation will be well for the AP test. So some people like the metronome. Excuse me, I can speak. Some people like the metronome, and so I like to include it, but just on the beats. And I do disappearing measures because then kids cannot go back and get lost. The measure's gone, so they have to be forced to keep moving forward. And so I do that. Annotations, you can choose to do annotations, which would be the do-re-mi's if you want to use the do-re-mi's, or pitch names. If you're doing piano, which we're not, you can do fingerings. There's lots of different choices. For my students, I'm not going to let them have anything because I am evil. And we're not doing minors. So I'm going to add the assignment. And after the assignment has been saved, it's ready for my students to try. They just have to log into Canvas to do it. And so to show you how that works, I'm just going to go ahead and put it into student view. And then I load. This is what a student would see. They would hit load. And then the first thing they make you do is test your microphone. Have to wait for the countdown. Test, 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 test. And then it will stop in a moment. And we are forced to listen. Test, 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 test. And then it will stop in a moment. I'm sorry you had to listen to that twice. We tell it that it sounds good. And then they're going to choose voice family for their instrument. And I am definitely an alto, probably could sing tenor, but I'm not going to. And then, all right, it's going to tell me what we're doing. And there's the review and play. Uh-oh. First I must choose. I did that. I did the review. Then why? Oh, it's down here. It's hidden. Start the assignment down at the bottom. So click start the assignment, and I have 60 seconds that I can practice this. This fabulous tuning fork tells me the pitch I need, and then I can practice it. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, do. I think I'm ready, so I'm not going to wait for the next 40 seconds. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, do. Now, if I like it, I can choose to listen to it at this point. I am not going to force you to do that, so I just hit submit assignment. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And it uploads my assignment to Canvas, and that leaves it there for me to be able to grade it whenever I have access to the internet. And that saves me so much time in class, and yet it's also still allowing me to be able to teach what I need to teach and assess what I need to assess without stealing from my very precious rehearsal time. Thanks.